YouTube fam, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Double tap that screen when you come into the live. Y'all know what time it is. Most definitely double tap that screen. Waiting on my friend Pitbull and the rest of my mods. Infinite, Carpe Diem, Aloha Kitty, William Lynch. And we're going to get busy. Double tap that screen. What the hell is this? This must be some new shit. Let me get back on my YouTube channel. Double tap that screen when y'all coming to the live. Y'all know what it is. This is the place where we expose the shit that they cover up. Alright. This is what I'm used to looking at. Waiting on my good friend Pitbull, but while we doing that, man, let's get to it. ICE investigations shut down by Trump administration. Let's listen to this.
No longer being investigated by the FBI.
Covering what the corporate media covers up.
FBI agents will no longer be investigating confrontations that ICE agents have with the general public. I wish I was making this up. I'm JT Siskowski with Status Coup, but no, this is all too real. It's coming from reporting from the New York Times. It is no enough that the Trump administration was investigating itself over these confrontations. Now, no, it needs to be the Department of Homeland Security investigating itself. This is the headline from the New York Times. Federal agents were told FBI will no longer investigate ICE confrontations. Senior officials deny such a change is in the works, despite guidance.
Cool, we don't need you to investigate yourself. We need somebody else to investigate you. So good job on that.
Shared with agents around the country in recent days. Federal agents around the country were told in recent days that the FBI would no longer investigate confrontations with immigration agents, cases that sometimes yield evidence that could be used to prosecute Department of Homeland Security agents implicated in violent encounters, according to people briefed on the decision. Let's pause here for just a moment to reflect on all of the incidents in which ICE agents are involved in assaulting, killing American citizens here in this country, many of which we have documented here on Status Coup. My mind immediately goes to a Marine veteran who was assaulted by ICE agents and recounted it for us live on our broadcast. Here's a clip of that.
Do not break my fucking window. You guys got into that John is looking at is a black.
Get out of the fucking get out of the car. Put the car in park, get out of the car. Put the car in park, get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Virginia, TBN.
You know I'm a Marine Corps veteran.
I don't care what you are.
Bunch of goofy thugs.
You fucking move, I'll fucking tase you. You fucking move, I'll fucking tase you. Get the fuck out of the car right now. Get the fuck out of the car.
So those kind of confrontations no longer being investigated by the FBI. Instead, that responsibility will shift. Coming back to the New York Times, if enacted, such a change would sharply limit law enforcement scrutiny of immigration agents as the Trump administration draws mounting criticism over killings at the hands of federal officers. FBI managers around the country received a written notice informing them of the change on Thursday, according to the people familiar with the matter who spoke on the condition of anonymity to describe internal communications. The same day, some ICE agents around the country were notified by their FBI counterparts. The guidance shared with them said that the Bureau would stop investigating claims of assaults against Department of Homeland Security agents, the people said. Even though such investigations are intended to determine whether the officers were in fact attacked, they can provide a crucial means of gathering evidence implicating the agents themselves. And I want to point out here that ICE agents lying is not beyond the here.
When its HP is low, use the equipment and cast the ultimate to annihilate it. With abundant EXP and equipment, your power can soar easily. Call of Dragons is a fantasy game played by...
Then you should probably be funding on-the-ground journalism like what we do here at Status Coup. Go to statuscoup.com/join for as low as $5 a month. You go to keep us on the ground because it's very expensive to do that on-the-ground reporting. And all too often, we are the only ones who are out at those scenes documenting the abuses of the federal government because the mainstream media is either complicit with the Trump administration or just lazy and cheap and doesn't want to actually spend the money to send their reporters out to do actual reporting. We keep doing it here at Status Coup. Returning here to the reporting from the New York Times, a joint statement by the Justice Department and Department of Homeland Security, however, denied that any such change was underway. Quote, the relationship between DHS and DOJ in investigating assault on federal officer cases has not changed, and FBI will continue to investigate in accordance with agency policy, the statement said. Quote, this administration has been clear. Anyone who assaults law enforcement will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. So they pull, of course, the Trump administration is going to want to spin this any way they can. So first of all, they deny that the change has been made, and then they say, we're going to keep prosecuting people who assault ICE agents. And make no mistake, that's what this is about. Anybody who protests ICE going to start getting charged based on this, because it's going to be the Department of Homeland Security themselves who actually do the investigating here. And they're going to start recommending more charges on top of all of the charges that are already being brought against people who have the temerity to stand up against the Trump administration here. Cases involving an assault on a federal officer have been a source of tension inside federal law enforcement agencies for more than a year. White House and Justice Department officials have pushed prosecutors to bring charges in as many of them as possible, particularly as Americans protest.
Now, ain't that something? The people that's getting done wrong are being investigated extra super hard just to please the administration. But the bottom line is this, man. This shit not going away. This shit is not going away. Double tap that screen, smash that like button.
The administration's immigration crackdown. Under the federal statute, felony charges can be brought against anybody who forcibly assaults, resists, opposes, impedes, intimidates, or interferes with a federal law enforcement officer. Trump administration officials have claimed that language means anyone who makes physical contact with an agent should be charged with felony assault, which is punishable by up to 8 years in prison. Any kind of contact whatsoever, 8 years in prison. And how many times have we shown here on Status Coup the ICE agents will actually, or the Department of Homeland Security agents will actually charge into crowds of people, throwing flashbangs and tear gas canisters along the way, making confrontations nearly impossible as they disorient the people into whom they are charging into. This is all about creating pretexts to lock down dissent against the Trump administration, even peaceful protest. We'll continue to document it here at Status Coup because we believe that is important. Again, if you support our mission, go to statuscoup.com/join for as low as $5 a month. You go to keep us on the ground documenting these kinds of cases. And for some benefits for you in particular, we hold semi-regular members calls where you can just get on the phone and chat with Jordan and myself and the rest of the team here at Status Coup. Or
you've got only one chance to choose your shelter.
Double tap that screen, y'all smash that like button. We getting down to the business.
Stealth.
Donald Trump just held a disastrous press conference with President Ayoun, the president of Lebanon, at the same time. We know that the Trump regime is currently evacuating U.S. bases in the Middle East. At least a lot of bases are being evacuated, and military equipment and planes are being relocated to Israel because the United States simply doesn't have the munitions or the interceptors to protect these U.S. bases in the Arab nations, and they believe they still have the ability to protect the military equipment in Israel. There's a lot of other alarming developments this morning as Donald Trump was holding this disastrous press conference with President Ayoun of Lebanon. We know that Iran has been working with the Houthis to basically shut down the Bab el-Mandab Strait to Saudi Arabian tankers. The Houthis said they were going to do a blockade for Saudi Arabian tankers, and we've seen them make good on that threat. At least 8 oil tankers linked to Saudi Arabian oil have been turned around in the Bab el-Mandab Strait. Also, another development.
So long story short is they blocking everything up. You think you going around the other way? No, they got that shit blocked up too. What's the next move? Trump.
Iran announced, and we believe there's confirmation in the region as well, that it was able to successfully target an Amazon data center in Bahrain. And the IRGC said it will soon be targeting Tesla, Microsoft, Google, Apple, Nvidia, and Oracle are all now legitimate targets in the region as they assist the United States military. We're also seeing Iranian strikes right now against Arab nations, striking U.S. radar, early warning detection facilities, and striking infrastructure in the Arab nations based on the United States striking the infrastructure in Iran. Israel's Channel 14 says the United States is currently unable to protect its bases in the region. Even they're saying there on Channel 14, it's evacuating, and they're saying that's why we're seeing all of this equipment come into Israel. But with all of this as background right now, Donald Trump's been saying during this press conference moments ago with President Ayoun of Lebanon, mind you, at the same time, Israel is striking southern Lebanon in residential areas. Donald Trump is now saying, once again, Iran really wants to make a deal. They're begging for it. They're begging for it. They really want to make a deal. We will not stop attacking them until they definitely want to make the deal, but they really want to make a deal. They haven't seen anything yet. We've been nice. We've been Mr. Nice Guy, but we will soon not be Mr. Nice Guy. They're begging. They're begging me for a deal, but I will bomb them until it is the right deal. We also are seeing U.S. service members who are now leaking video, and this is against the rules of Hegseth and the United States military. They're leaking photos and videos of the damage that's being done to these bases in the Middle East because they're terrified.
And they fucking should. This is exactly what they need to be doing. All the lies and shit need to come to an end. But like I said, we've been knowing that the casualties and the death toll is way higher than what the lying-ass administration is saying that it is.
Their lives right now as the U.S. isn't protecting them at all. The U.S. may be moving their equipment, but these service members are in the barracks right there. Also, Donald Trump is posting weird AI images purporting to be Iranian women holding up things that say, "Stop killing us." They may be talking about you, Donald. You stop killing the little girls in Manab. Stop killing Iranian civilians. And you're posting AI images. What the hell are you even doing? Let's get to this disastrous presser that just took place. I wanted to give you all that background so you know what's been happening this morning. Oh, also, there's been another tanker or two that has been disabled in the Strait of Hormuz. I should mention that. Oh, yeah, and gas prices. The price of crude is over $91 a barrel right now, and prices are rising very, very high here in the United States.
Oh, $91 a barrel. I remember they were just talking a couple of days ago that it was in the 60s a barrel. Now we're going back up to 90, and I told y'all that shit not stable. Gas prices change every day, buddy.
So a reporter asks Donald Trump, so there are no signs that Iran intends to stop fighting, and all of the intelligence reports that have been leaked recently said that you bombing them is not going to make them want to make a deal with you. So what do you say to that, Donald? And so Donald Trump starts yelling at this female reporter, "How do you know that? You know something that I don't know?" And the reporter says, "Well, I'm observing what's happening in the region." And Donald Trump's like, "They desperately want meetings. They're begging for it. They're begging for it. You don't know anything. You're fake news." Here, play this clip.
Yeah. Mr. President, there are no signs that Iran is ready to stop fighting. So what is the plan? Is the plan to just keep bombing until they give up?
There are no signs. What, do you know something that I don't know?
Will they continue to attack our allies and kill Americans?
You don't know what the dialogue is behind the scenes, that they want to meet desperately to try and end it, because they're getting decimated. You don't get that when you listen to your fake station, but you don't know anything.
So talks are
do you know
still
something
possible,
that I don't
likely?
know? Do you know something I don't know?
Well, tell us.
I will tell you, they want to desperately meet, and until they're ready to meet in a meaningful way, we have no interest in even.
So Tom Lester.
Then the way Donald Trump describes 3 service members that we at least know of, I believe it's more, being killed in the base in Jordan. And there was another service member killed in Erbil, Iraq as well. Donald Trump says, this is how he describes it: Iran slipped something through in Jordan, and if we had other operators, that would not have happened. So Donald Trump is blaming it on the operators, and something just slipped. Just think about how dangerous this rhetoric is. Nothing just slipped. Every single day, Iran is shooting salvos of these ballistic missiles that are precisely hitting targets day in, day out. It didn't slip, and Donald Trump blames, it's just bad operators. That's what did it. Here, play this clip.
But we are doing very well. We are degrading them at levels that nobody thought was possible. They're being degraded really so seriously. They did slip something through in Jordan, and if we had other operators, would not happened, unfortunately. But because we have the best equipment in the world, we've stopped almost everything. But when you let other people do your job, with the United States, we let other people do the job, and sometimes it doesn't work out so well. But we're going to be going and paying our respects.
Then Donald Trump is asked about Pickaxe Mountain. That's an area in Iran where it's believed that they may be reconstituting enriched uranium and perhaps building a nuclear program. And Donald Trump's like, well, I'm going to make an announcement right now. I'm going to hit Pickaxe Mountain. I'm making that announcement right. I'm not even worried because there's nothing they can do about it. Again, the level of one, dangerousness, because this now further puts a target on our troops in the region. Number 2, the idea of escalating even more is going to be absolutely disastrous and catastrophic. And he just reveals the most highly I believe this war is unlawful and catastrophic, but just even think about it from an intelligence perspective. Dude's just out there saying, and here's what we're doing next, everybody. What are you doing? Here, play this clip.
Do you believe that Iran has moved nuclear centrifuges into Pickaxe Mountain? And when you say we're not done yet, what is left to finish?
Well, I think that they may have. We don't have it on record. All we do is read the fake news. We see the news is so wrong so many times. So, maybe this one they have right, but it's okay. It doesn't mean anything unless they have the material. You're talking about the centrifuges. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything unless they have the material. They don't have. We follow the material. That's where the action is, and we'll be hitting that area probably pretty soon. And there's not a thing they can do about it. Normally I wouldn't say that. If I thought they could do something about it, I would never say that. But we'll be hitting that area pretty soon, and very heavily.
Then a reporter says to Donald Trump, do you feel safe? Because, you're not going to be using the Qatari Air Force One anymore because he says it needs to be maxed out with all of this missile defense. Do you feel safe? And Trump's like, why? Why? Yeah. I feel safe. Why wouldn't I feel safe? Here, play this clip.
Say what?
Do you feel safe, especially considering
I
the
feel
effects on your life?
I feel safe. Why wouldn't I feel safe?
Then Donald Trump talks about conquering Venezuela and bragging about taking over Venezuela and taking their oil. Play this clip.
I think people are very impressed. We took over Venezuela. We now have a great relationship with Venezuela. We went to war with Venezuela, and the war ended in one day. And we have now an incredible relationship with Venezuela. We're taking out millions of barrels of oil. They're making more money now than they ever made before, ever.
And then I thought this was very noteworthy right here, because then Donald Trump goes, and they're a very happy place since we've taken them over. But they've had this thing happen, this event that took place. They had a movement, a shifting of the earth. That's what Donald Trump refers to the back-to-back unprecedented earthquake that's killed thousands and thousands of people, and thousands still missing. It's going to be tens of thousands of deaths that's there. Donald Trump's like, I guess you would call it an earthquake. Let me further give you the red alarms that I've been warning about over and over again here. We know that fracking and drilling done certain ways and overloading terrain can actually trigger earthquakes. This was an unprecedented earthquake that took place. The fact that Donald Trump here has to also say, and it was unrelated to that, I think is the biggest help. And again, as I've said before, I don't want to veer into a conspiratorial area and start to say this is definitely what happened. But there are lots of red flags here, folks, and no one else wants to talk about it. Here, play this clip.
Very closely with the administration, and we get along very well. Venezuela is a very happy place. They had a tragic incident with the, with the event that took place a week ago. What a terrible thing that was. They had a movement, a shifting of earth that was unbelievable. They've never seen anything like it. A lot of people were killed. So it's all unrelated. But by the way, we were the first ones there to help. We were there to help Venezuela. It was an earthquake, I guess you'd call it. It was a pretty massive earthquake. And we were able to do a lot of good. But they lost a lot of people. Venezuela, the people are so happy that we're there. The jobs, everything's happening, and we're taking out many times the money that we spent on the war. This one.
Then Donald Trump says, nobody knows the damage we've done to the Iranians, except the Iranians. Nobody knows but me and Iran. They are desperate. Here, play this clip.
Now, nobody knows except the Iranians the damage that we've done to them. We have done damage that will take them 20, 25 years to recover from. So if we left tomorrow, we had a big success, but we're not leaving tomorrow.
Then Trump's like, if we left right now, it would take around 25, 50 years to rebuild because we've obliterated and we're not finished. We're not leaving right now. I mean, you literally sound like Hitler. You literally sound like the worst we're not leaving. You are a predator, right? Is there any doubt why this guy was found civilly liable for sexual assault? He's a predator. He's a sick, disgusting, psychotic predator. Play the clip.
So if we left right now, it would take around 20, 25 years to rebuild. Okay? And we're not finished at all. But if we left right now, it would take them a long time, years to rebuild. But we're not leaving right now.
Then Donald Trump, you get to see how like reporters just view this whole Oval Office thing like a clown show. They're like, you told the Iraqi prime minister he's handsome. What do you think about President Ayoun of Lebanon? Here, play this clip.
Question, please. Last week you met with the Iraqi prime minister and discussed him or described him as handsome and saying he could become one of the best leaders in the Middle East. How do you describe
Which one are we talking about?
The Iraqi prime minister. Yes. How do you describe President?
Well, I'd say he's handsome also, and I think he could become one of the most important leaders in the Middle East, actually, if we do this, because they've been trying to do this for decades, right? Decades and decades. So if I made that statement about somebody else, I would put him in the same category.
Then Donald Trump attacks Canada and says they need us to survive. They need us to survive. Here, play this clip.
But their leadership from Trudeau to the current leadership, I mean, in all fairness to them, they need us to survive. Without us, there's no way they can survive. So, but they've been very, very tough over a period of the last 50 years, actually.
Then Donald Trump says that he's speaking to Hezbollah, which he isn't, but he just lies about literally everything he opens up his mouth and says. Let's play this clip.
Are you still speaking with Hezbollah? You said in previous interviews that you're speaking with Hezbollah.
I wouldn't say that, but I would speak to Hezbollah, yeah. I speak to everybody. I'll speak to people that a lot of people think I shouldn't be speaking to, and things work out. I would speak to
Mr. President,
I would say this, if the president wanted me to speak to Hezbollah, you know, he's lived with Hezbollah for a long time. And if the president wanted me to speak to Hezbollah.
Then a reporter
MAGA
says, what's your view about the Houthis in Yemen's threat that they will shut down the Bab el-Mandab Strait in a blockade against Saudi ships?
Your leader's close to being dead. How the fuck are you not close to being dead?
And Trump's like, there's no indication of that happening at all, but we will deal with it if it happens. There is an indication. If you just look at the VHF radio frequencies, you can actually see and hear.
It's already been declared that the United States lost the war in Iran. Only stupids are sitting around guessing.
The 8 tankers, if you see this, it's not actually all that complicated. You can hear the tankers turning around and being warned by the Houthis to turn around, and then they turn around, confirm.
Hold on. Is the fucking Strait of Hormuz open since you won the fucking war? Is the Strait of Hormuz open? No. Was the Strait of Hormuz open before the fucking war? Yes, it was. Was Iran making fucking extra billions of dollars selling fuel? No, the fuck they was not. So how the fuck did we win?
On the VHF frequencies, and then you can see on the satellite footage that the ships turn around. That dude lies about every damn thing. Here, play this clip.
What is your level of concern?
Not only that, we done heard about fucking 8 boats of oil. Motherfucker went over Venezuela and robbed them for fucking $3 billion worth of fucking olive oil. You can't turn that bullshit they got from Venezuela into gas. And if you ask me, Venezuela seen his dumb ass coming. They sold the other shit that they had in their access for real fucking money. And they let him come and steal some fucking olive oil. Dummy.
Of a blockade of the Red Sea by the Houthi rebels, opening up another front in the war. What happens? So far, it hasn't happened. Might happen, but we take care of things. If something like that happens, we take care of it. You know, we've done that with the Houthis before, and we haven't heard from them in a while since we did what we did originally. That was about 45 days of very powerful action we took against the Houthis. And we've had no problem with the Houthis. They've had no problem with us for a long period of time, including during this conflict.
Bullshit.
I think that if there is something like that, we'll just have to take care of business.
Then Donald Trump says, you know, the Iranians, they were killing the protesters back in January like candy. What do you mean like candy? Who refers to people as candy? And 52,000. Didn't you say it was 40,000 last week? You know, the problem with the Trump regime lying about literally everything and then posting AI images of Iranian women and then just going from 40,000 to 52,000 to 30,000, just making up numbers, is that when there's actually a serious thing that goes down and you're trying to analyze actually how many protesters were killed, what's the actual number when Trump promised that he was...
Yeah, it's only 3 likes here because it's fucking 97 MAGA crybabies. Cry harder, bitches.
Going to help the Iranian protesters. Remember when Trump said he was going to help? Help is on the way. Rise up right now. I've got your back. We don't know what the real number is. The guy lies about every single damn.
159 fucking people watching. I don't give a fuck about the likes. It's all about the viewership. Goofy
thing. You know, the guy who told you that the reflecting pool was, was torn up by vandals. That's the guy who's talking about the 2020 election and doing that. No, sorry, don't believe the numbers. Don't believe his numbers at all. Here, play this clip.
Extinguished. But I believe that by doing what we did, by terminating Iran, who's very evil people leaving that country. You saw the number of protesters that they killed, 52,000 plus. I put a couple of them up today, young kids, they kill them. They kill them like they're candy. It's crazy what they do. It's crazy what they do. They treat them so badly. They're just killing people just at random. Over 52,000 people, and nobody talks about it. But if I didn't do the attack on their nuclear sites, or if I didn't terminate the...
I don't need no fucking body to help me, weakling. I don't need no help for weak ass, uneducated white men.
Obama agreement with Iran, which was an absolute hit on having them that was a road to a nuclear weapon. And our deal will be a wall. It already is. They can't have a nuclear weapon right now. We'll take them.
Then you have
MAGA, you're dead. MAGA, you're dead. Look, all y'all got MAGAs. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, man. Stop being a poor sport. Stop getting mad because I'm telling you the truth about your weak ass leader. If you come here every day to listen to me, give your ass medicine, then pay for the fucking prescription. Pay for the script, man. Y'all coming in here, sitting in here, whining and crying and shit about your little conservative, weak ass tears. Subscribe to the channel and shut the fuck up.
Hegseth saying, and here's the thing, we gave Iran every opportunity to comply. They refused to comply, so we will hit them 10 times harder. Hegseth out. Here, play this clip.
President Trump was, and continues to this day. Iran's been given every opportunity to negotiate, to show that they're reasonable on the Strait of Hormuz. But if they're going to shoot at commercial shipping, then we're going to hit them, as the president said, 10 times harder.
Okay, you realize what a fool you look like?
Hey, listen, if you like this type of live stream and this is how you like to spend your evenings or afternoons, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Definitely hit the like button so we can drive more traffic to the live stream. The more traffic, the more of the debate. The more of the debate, the more we can come up with some answers. So let's get down to it, y'all. Here we go.
You realize that Iran right now is surgically hitting early detection, radar facilities.
And shout out to my #1 fucking viewers, MAGA and MAGA sycophants.
Desalination facilities. After you strike their desalination facilities, they're not just going blow for blow. They're going about 10% more than what you're delivering there. And they're hitting precise things so that if and when this escalates more, you don't have early detection. You don't have radar. You don't have the HIMARS. You don't have any of that. And then Donald Trump's like, but here's in conclusion, America's never been better. We're in a golden age. Everything's amazing. Everybody's rich. Everybody loves me. Goodbye. Here, play this clip.
Thank you all very much. We're doing very well with Iran. We're doing
no new wars. I'm not going to be the president that takes you to war. I'm going to stop wars. I'm going to be the president of peace. Yeah. Bigly. I have the best rating of any president within the history of the United States. We've done it majorly, and no one has done it better than we've done because we've done nothing, but we just keep on saying we do something so that we can say that we've done nothing better than anybody who's ever done nothing.
Unbelievably with the economy. We have investment. As you know, Toyota is coming in with the biggest plant, I understand, anywhere in the world. They're leaving Mexico. They're coming in.
Donald's, shout out to Curly Eastbourne. Donald's legacy is how history will remember him. And that will be as a sloppy turd with a bad hairpiece on top, with ankles that look like fucking pudding cups, with fucking hands that are smaller than a third grader, and shitty diaper.
To our country. It's going to come into Texas, to be specific. We have more plants under construction now than at any time, by far, by many times. We have over $19.2 trillion being spent in America. And
fuck Biden too.
They're going to be opening up in a year and a half. And there has never been a time like this in America. Truly, it's the golden age of America. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. What the hell was that? Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Hey, if you want the full story, how democracy got here and how we take it back, pre-order our new book, WTF America, today. Just scan the QR code or click the link.
Double tap that screen, y'all. Smash that like button. This is the place where we uncover the shit that the mainstream news covers up. We drop real heat in here to get your ass on fire. And if you need some medicine because your ass is sick, this is the place to get your prescription. And let me warn you about the medicine, though. Medicine ain't never taste good, and people don't like how it tastes. But it can make your sick ass better. So if you're sick in the head with MAGA, go ahead and sit back and take this fucking medicine and let's see if it works. Also, if you're leaving MAGA, they got fucking support groups for y'all, man. Leaving MAGA. There's support groups for people who are leaving MAGA, which means that people are leaving MAGA in droves. Don't let these red hat idiots make you think that MAGA is alive. MAGA is dead. MAGA is the last breath of the weak ass Confederates. That shit is over. MAGA is also the fucking battle cry in the wailing of some people who losing their fucking privilege or lost their fucking privilege. They want their privilege so bad, but guess what? Ask Chad the Builder about his fucking privilege. Ask Derek Chauvin about his fucking privilege. Ask any of these yahoos about their fucking privilege and what happened to it. It's dead.
Description. Let's do this.
Maryland homeowners, oh my God, you wouldn't believe this, but I learned about this little known way to sell my house.
Mary, stay on this video. I'm going to tell you the things that liberals don't even want you to know about Trumpism. It's a midnight rant downtown Chicago, and I'm here doing this series, this brand new series called Midnight Rant. And this is designed to tell you the stuff that you don't hear in many rooms. Those of you who don't know, I used to work on Kamala Harris's campaign as of today, literally 2 years ago, the 21st July. And I celebrate those 2 years because it's been an amazing journey, despite what happened in the you-know-what getting stolen. But I've discovered something about the left that has been very enlightening, and I'm going to enlighten you on that today.
God will deal with Trump's corruption. I heard that shit. I believe that. Because the people who believe in Trump do not believe in God. Let's be real with that. Let's be real. If you believe in Trump or you fuck with Trump, your ass ain't got no God in you. You're actually the opposite. You're a fucking devil.
MAGA Republican Congress members were stunned as Democrats hijacked a Rules Committee hearing. The MAGA Republicans were trying to rush through their reconciliation bill to give billions and more dollars to the catastrophic and unlawful war in Iran. And Democratic Congress members like Jim McGovern and Democratic Congress member Joe Neguse started cross-examining these MAGA Republican Congress members and making them justify their horrific actions on live TV. You see, in the Rules Committee, the members from the party, in this case the MAGA Republicans, who are bringing the rules to the floor, who are bringing the bills to the floor, in this case a reconciliation bill, and then there was a related inside trading bill in Congress, which was actually done to try to stifle real legislation to prevent Congress members from inside trading. I'll get to that in a moment. But the Republican Congress members who are bringing the legislation, who are bringing the rules, they have to justify what they're bringing in a Rules Committee. And so it could sometimes or usually be boring and tedious, but the Democrats basically did like a sneak attack and they said, all right, Congress member Arrington, that's the MAGA Republican Congress member, we've got questions for you. Or in the case of Democratic Congress member Neguse, Congressmember Style, let's talk about your piece of legislation right here, and I'm going to try to expose it. It was brilliant cross-examination. So let me show you what took place first, where you had Democratic Congressmember McGovern. Here was his exchange with Congressmember Arrington, the MAGA Republican, who's trying to push through this truly horrific and disastrous reconciliation bill and this legislation to give the Defense Department, to give Hexeth like so billions and billions and billions of dollars more for this catastrophic war when they already got trillions of dollars. I got over $1 trillion last year. What are we doing right here? So first, Democratic Congressmember McGovern begins by looking at the Republicans and saying, you control every branch of government and the Supreme Court, yet you're here whining? You're whining? What are you doing right now? Watch this. Let's play it.
Let me just say, I love you Republicans. You don't take responsibility for anything. I mean, you control the House, you control the Senate, you control the White House. I think you control the Supreme Court, and nothing is your responsibility. Boy, it must be nice to live that way. And I'll just say one thing. When you guys want to get things done, I mean, you do. When you wanted tax cuts for millionaires and billionaires, I mean, you shoved that through, added $4.7 trillion to the debt. You got that through. I wish we could have stopped it, but you got it through. When you wanted to cut Medicaid by $1 trillion, you did it in a nanosecond. SNAP by $200 billion. You're going to increase hunger in this country. I mean, so the idea that, this idea that somehow you can't get anything done, yeah, you do. The stuff you get done, unfortunately, is bad for the American people. But everything is somebody else's fault. It's never your fault.
And then,
look, y'all, we're trying to get the likes up. I need to get those likes up, man. Let's run the likes up. We got almost 200 people in here. I need 50 of y'all to hit that like button right about now. Let's go.
Democratic Congressmember McGovern, before really leaning in on the question, is just like, and then you all sit back, you pathetic MAGA Republicans, while Donald Trump engages in rampant corruption and crimes in clear and present view that would make what Richard Nixon did look nothing compared to what Donald Trump does on any given day. And all you MAGA Republicans do is just sit there, complicit. You're okay with that. Shame on you. Watch Congressman McGovern go to work here.
This is why you're a horrible fucking person. I'll break it down for him. Tyree Boone. First of all, he's a horrible fucking person for the simple fact that this motherfucker come out his mouth talking about grabbing women by the pussy. He's already been fucking held liable for raping a woman, paying her off, sleeping with fucking porn stars, cheating on his fucking wife, fucking another bitch while Barron was fucking being born. He was cheating with another bitch, which I don't even give a fuck about him cheating. He could do whatever he wants to do as far as that. But when you start violating underage girls, when you start violating grown-ass women, when you're best friends with a fucking psychopathic pedophile, or let's just say PDF, when you are stealing fucking money, inside trading, you name it. The bitch eat McDonald's every day. That's a horrible fucking person. Period, point blank.
This clip.
And don't even get me going on corruption or on fraud or waste or abuse. I'm looking at what's happening in the White House right now and the silence of the entire Republican conference. I mean, that is complicity. That is complicity. And history will record that you were silent as this president ripped off the American people. I've never seen anything like it. It makes Richard Nixon look like a Boy Scout.
And then he gets into the cross-examination.
Let me tell you why all y'all motherfuckers is wrong. I ain't no fucking Democrat. I ain't no fucking Republican. I don't subscribe to political parties. So y'all
of the MAGA Republican Congressmember Arrington. Now remember, in these rules committee, if you're like, why?
But I just told you why he's a horrible fucking person. His fucking ankles look like pudding cups. He's an ornery, evil, shitty diaper. Let's just be real. He's an inferior fucking man. That's number one. And I'm gonna tell you why he's inferior. Because whatever the fuck if Barack Obama took a piss in a fucking stall in Central Park, Donald Trump is mad about it. He's also mad that he'll never be the fucking man that Obama is. He'll never look as good as him. He'll never smell as good as him. He'll never fucking be as tall as him, has big hands, big nuts. People applaud Obama when he walks in the fucking room. And people boo Trump when he walks in the room. So the bottom line is this. All y'all motherfuckers who love Trump, you just loving a fucking loser. So kudos to you for being a person who is a loser. Shout out to you.
Cross-examining the Republican Congress member, because the Republicans who are putting forward the legislation, they have to advance it through the Rules Committee, and you're able to ask them questions.
Oh man, fuck you. We don't give
questions. So Congressmember McGovern was not going to just let this just go.
A loser who never fucking lost, bitch.
And just check the box. No, Congressmember McGovern's like, I remember you in the MAGA Republican.
Worry about your own party. Worry about your own party. Worry about the Democrats. No, we worry about your dumb ass. We worrying about your head. What the fuck is wrong with your brains? Oh man, suck a dick. Suck a hot, big black dick in your mouth.
Talking about the debt. And you were debt hawks. And you were saying that, Biden was bad and Democrats were running up the debt. Like, you all realize that Donald Trump has basically added most of the debt that the country has right now. And just this year alone, Trump has added over $3.3 trillion. So what do you say about that? Watch the MAGA Republican Congress member squirm. Here, play this clip.
But Chairman Arrington, in 2024, you came before this committee and you said, quote, at a time when our national debt is approaching.
Oh, the Republicans want the Democrats to worry about the Democrats. Don't worry about the Republicans. And don't worry about the pedophiles. Don't worry about the pedos.
35 trillion. We are adding almost $8 billion to the debt every day, and we pay 60.
Let me see. Let me get in y'all business real quick. It's 200 motherfuckers in here, and 180 of them is MAGA. Hi, MAGA.
2 cents on every dollar just to service the debt. We must lead Congress toward a path of fiscal responsibility. The trajectory is unsustainable and is arguably the biggest threat facing our nation, end quote. You ended your remarks by saying, and I quote, not paying for our spending is not only irresponsible, it is irrational. We cannot continue to thrust the costs of things we think are important onto the backs of our kids and grandkids, end quote. Chairman Arrington, do you still believe that our debt is one of the biggest threats?
See, our wives get that dick. They get the real vein around here. Y'all wife, my wife ain't got no fucking dildo. Bitch, are you crazy? But your wife must have one. And your wife got a black dildo too. Call that motherfucker Tyrone. And your ass ain't invited. I can guarantee you that. Around talking about MAGA. Ty motherfucking Rome will have your wife and that bitch crawling up the wall. But when you come in that motherfucker, she gonna put that bitch away. Because you're not invited.
Facing our nation?
I do.
So, Chairman Arrington, can you affirm the basic fact that since January 20th, 2025, since President Trump and the Republicans...
Didn't I just tell you I'm not a Democrat? I ain't aligning myself. I don't align myself with no political party. I let weak individuals do that shit. That's just like going to jail and getting in a gang. You only doing that shit because your ass is weak. If you could stand on your own, you wouldn't join no gang. So the same thing with politics. If you could think for your fucking self, you wouldn't join a political party. I don't need to join a political. It even makes sense. Welcome you to come Hit the button. Maggots. Where's your maggot channel at? Send me in that bitch and watch me crush that bitch. I dare you. Send me the address to a fucking MAGA live. We can go in that bitch right now while y'all on the line. That shit is easy work.
In full control of government. The national debt has increased by $3.3 trillion from 36.
Hey, I told this MAGA dude in my last live stream, if Trump is your king, then he is fucking your wife. He's fucking your daughter. He might be fucking you. But I can tell you right now, your ass is compromised. You ain't running shit in your house if Trump is your king. Carry on.
36.2 trillion to 39.5 trillion.
It's a misleading stat because the economy has grown with the cuts that we made on waste, fraud, and abuse in total for the first time in a decade.
That shit don't work, buddy. You can't come in here and tell me I'm doing what you're doing. I don't do dumb shit like dumb people. So what I do is I let y'all do it. We know y'all motherfuckers been in a Discord sitting around like a bunch of, I call MAGA the revenge of the nerds. Because that's what the fuck it is. Revenge of the nerds.
The deficit to GDP has gone down under Republican leadership and this president's watch.
You disagree with the figure?
What the fuck I need to stop you for when you ain't doing shit? You're not doing anything. You getting work just like the rest of the country. Your fucking gas high, your bills high, that motherfucking welfare that they took, you was on it the most. The fucking Section 8 and all that shit that they took away, that's you. The numbers are in. The highest percentage of welfare recipients are Republicans, and they're white. The numbers are in. You want me to pull them up for you? Or you gonna start talking that per capita bullshit again? The numbers are in. So everything that you talking about, all them little benefits, welfare was made for white people. Did you know that? It was never meant to even be for black people. It was for lazy motherfuckers who did not want to work. Y'all know who y'all are. Somebody in the chat said MAGA is truly some dorky motherfuckers. Predictions? I ain't predicting shit. I'm talking past tense, motherfucker. Y'all still trying to figure out. I already know. I got something for y'all since y'all want to talk. Let me show you this. This is y'all. It's just rain. We love it. Feels like a shower of freedom. Piss on us, drop. Ah, refreshing. It's like a rainstorm. Except it's coming out of his trousers. Who even knew I was getting wet? Oh, God. Feels so good. Is that a ray of sunshine or a bowl of piss? Doesn't matter. It's coming from Trump. This y'all. This is y'all right now. We on us, Trump. We love it. And this is why y'all never gonna be taken serious. I can put comedic gestures up of what you're doing in real life, and it's just as funny. The only thing is, this shit is true. That's the only difference. It's something to laugh at, but it's also motherfuckers who are crying that they was this fucking naive that they could fucking fall for some shit like this. Nobody wants to sit back and tell you that they fell for some dumb shit. So I understand that it's never gonna be a comfortable situation for you to come out and say, I was wrong. But you ain't got to tell me shit. We already know you was wrong. We waiting for you to tell your goddamn self. Because while you running around here trying to act like you doing some slick shit, hey, you're losing too, motherfucker. The motherfucker just told you he don't give a fuck about Americans. He don't give a fuck about their economy. He don't give a fuck about their pockets and what they might be thinking. Guess what you are? A fucking American. No matter what you want to say. Just because you got a red hat on, bitch, does not mean you're exempt from what America is going through. So the faster that your slow ass can put that into your pipe and smoke it, the faster your ass will be off of meth. But you're holding on to dumb shit. You're holding on to a little hat that somebody promised your ass, and that fucking hat ain't serving its purpose. America is not great. It's not greater. It's not getting greater. He told y'all some shit on a racist rant, and because y'all subscribe to that shit, you bought that motherfucking ticket. But he didn't cash in none of the motherfuckers. He told you he wasn't going to war. He went straight to war. He told you the gas prices were going to be low, higher than the motherfucker. He told you the economy was going to be good. That shit is trash. And it's the worst in the history of the United States. Worst in the fucking history. Hey, if you know that this shit is the worst in history, I want you to type W-I-H in the motherfucking chat right now. W-I-H. Worst in fucking history. Type it in the chat right now. Type it in the motherfucking chat right now. Fuck all the lies, fuck your feelings, and fuck your little red hat. None of that shit gonna change the fact that this is the worst goddamn presidency, the lowest fucking approval, the highest disapproval, and it ain't gonna change no time soon. The shit is only getting worse. So no matter how much dead fucking air you wanna pump out your dead ass lungs, it's not changing shit. Nobody believes what the fuck you're saying out of your lying ass mouth, because guess what? They don't even believe your fucking leader. He's a fucking liar. So we just laughing at you. MAGA, the dumbest people on earth. MAGA, the stupidest people from birth. MAGA, claiming they feel good but it hurts. MAGA, this is the fucking revenge of the nerds. Fucking white masters running around with some fucking masks on, you scared ass motherfuckers. Scaredy cat motherfuckers. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Double tap that screen. I hope I didn't offend you, but I'm only telling you the truth. You can cry now. You can cry now. MAGA, the dumbest fucking people on earth. MAGA, the stupidest people since birth. MAGA, trying to act like it feel good, but it hurts. MAGA, I easily put together those words. Fucking dummies. But look, man, spin your little hat to the true north and keep walking. Keep walking until your ass hit some water. And then keep walking again. MAGA. Damn, this shit feel good. I don't even gotta do shit. All I gotta do is go live and MAGA come around like flies to dead motherfucking carcasses. And I get to tell y'all exactly what I want to tell y'all. And guess what? Y'all sit here and listen. Thank you, MAGA. I'm doing the Lord's work, goddammit. I'm doing big work right here. Big political work. I'm doing work that your fucking doctor or your psychiatrist should have did. But that's where all y'all belong. Sitting on the couch somewhere saying it all started. Tell me when it first started. When Obama won the presidency. It was that Obama. Obama turned the country into separation. Obama separated the whole country. You know why? Because he won fair and square. We can't believe it. We don't know how the fuck Obama won fair and square, but it's not fair. It's just not fair. How did Obama win? That's why y'all mad. That's why you motherfuckers are mad. Okay, we get it. Obama got y'all pissed. Let me show y'all something. I'm gonna show y'all something that's gonna piss y'all off even more. Let me see what I can do. Where these motherfuckers? I got something for y'all ass. Y'all about to be pissed. MAGA. We're gonna get down to some real shit. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 2015, goddamn it, since your president is so motherfucking good, let's talk about these goddamn numbers right here. Yeah, let's talk about these numbers. Let's talk about these numbers. 2015 Iran nuclear deal, Obama administration. Fast forward to 2026, Iran lost. And if you say it's not a loss, then your ass is just delusion. Trump administration 2026. Skull and bones, crossbones. He got the death because this shit was bad. Now, number of dead Americans, 0 for Obama in 2015 when he put together a deal with Iran that had them with no nuclear fucking weapons. And it did because they agreed to not deal in nuclear weapons. He freed up 1.7 billion of their assets. 2026, Trump, 520 casualties. We don't know how many motherfuckers are dead, but I can guarantee you this, it ain't 16. And at least 500 and some odd people have been injured. 500 and some odd people have been injured. It cost Obama freed up 1.7. He gave 1.7 billion to Iran. Amount of money the USA gave to Iran was $1.7 billion. The amount of money that the US gave to Iran under Trump is 25 million. More than fucking, oh man. You see the difference? 1.7 billion. You know how many times 1.7 can go into fucking 2025? A lot of fucking times. He said, you got one person watching this page and it's me, a conservative. Good luck with that. The algorithm of this page will turn red. Good. I'm only talking to red motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck that you on. I'm glad you on here. You know why? Because your ass is sick. So how you get on here and why the fuck are you still on here? Since we talking, I ain't saying nothing you should agree with, so why the fuck you here? Douglas? And the last time I checked, it's 260 motherfucking people on here. So what the fuck are you talking about, Douglas? Fuck are you talking about? And I'm not just streaming on YouTube. I'm on Twitch. I'm on Rumble. So we talking, yeah, tens of thousands of motherfuckers watching. Get your mind right. Either way, I'm giving y'all asses medicine because you're sick. I got TDS, but your ass still sitting on my live stream hearing me tell you how fucking weak and how lost and how ignorant and uneducated you are. I ain't listening to y'all. Now, Obama gave them 1.7 billion. And I guess y'all gonna cry because he gave it to them in cash. Who gives a fuck? $1.7 billion is a far fucking cry from 25 billion. All right? Do we agree on that, maggots? Can y'all fucking count? I know y'all are uneducated, but do you know how fucking many more billions it is from 1.7 to 20 fucking 5. All right. So don't act like you fucking slow. Now, the cost of the deal. How much did the deal cost Obama? 0.00. Not a motherfucking dollar. He scratched his nuts and got this deal done. Now, how much did it cost the graper in chief? Huh? How much did it cost him? 500 billion fucking dollars. And y'all motherfuckers still in the comment section acting like you got a fucking argument. Man, listen, I don't want to offend none of y'all, but some of you motherfuckers need to get re-educated. Go back to school, learn some math, learn some politics, beat your head on the fucking wall. I don't know what it's going to take for you to look at these motherfucking numbers and see that it ain't no president in history who has done worse for the country of the United States of America. Not Richard Nixon, not fucking JFK, RFK, no Bush, Reagan, Carter. I don't give a fuck how many names you bring up. He's done worse than every last one of them motherfuckers. All of them. Iran ain't destroyed. What the fuck are you talking about? Obama didn't have to do none of that shit. You know why? Because Obama is fucking respected. His nuts hang heavy. Xi Jinping sat Trump ass in a little ass chair while he sat in a big ass high top chair looking down on his dumb ass. Y'all gotta wake the fuck up. Y'all gotta wake up. I know your feelings in it. I know your fellow white man is looking fucking crazy right now. But guess what? He did that shit to his motherfucking self. He did that to his motherfucking self by putting up ultimatums that your ass don't got the muscle to do. Y'all better do this in 24 hours. Man, them people looked at him like he was fucking a joke. If Obama had said that shit, motherfuckers would have got in line. But Obama he doesn't even have that type of nature. His nature ain't to tell people what the fuck to do and bully people. Hold the fuck up. Hold up. This uneducated person says Obama gave, let me read this dumbass shit. Obama handed them millions. Bitch, he only gave them 1.7. Trump gave them 25. What the fuck are you talking about? And it cost Trump 500 to fucking do it. It ain't cost Obama shit. Go back to school. Stop being ignorant. Stop being dumb. Matter of fact, just go to MAGA check where all the other dumb people at. Nobody would notice that shit. But you can't come over this bitch talking dumb like you don't understand that 1.7 and 25 billion is astronomically a greater amount that Trump gave to them. That's how dumb y'all are. You motherfuckers are lost. You sitting up here in your motherfucking trailer park counting some fucking beans and you're wrong every time. I don't have to talk to you dummies, to be honest with you. Matter of fact, I ain't addressing no more dumb people. If your ass dumb, you gonna know you're dumb. Because I'm not saying nothing else to your ass. Where's the intelligent MAGA people at? God damn. Is it just stupid people? Is it just fucking morons and motherfuckers who got more shoestrings than teeth? What the fuck is going on with y'all? Y'all over there fucking dealing with little children. Andrew Tate, who's supposed to be an upper echelon white man, is out here raping fucking little girls. Your goddamn commander-in-chief is graping. What's going on with y'all? Y'all worry about the wrong shit. TDS, Trump dick suckers. Yeah, just more TDS. More Trump dick suckers in the fucking comment section trying to act like somebody's sick or trying to act like somebody is going crazy because Trump is doing dumb shit. The sad thing is this. All you peppermint patties sitting around this motherfucker acting like people don't have a right to talk about a fucking ignorant ass man. And your answer is you have TDS. Well, what the fuck do you have? What do you have? I'm tired of this weak ass motherfucker. I am. Everybody is. Y'all seen y'all weak ass president carrying the fucking the FIFA World Cup over there? Nobody wanted that motherfucker to even come close to them, man. I don't know if they smell the shit in his pamper or they just don't like that motherfucker. I don't know what it was, but I can tell you this. He looked fucking pathetic. Notice me. I wish I was important. Somebody fucking notice me. Oh, I'm so weak. Oh, my hands are so fucking small. I need somebody to help me carry this big ass trophy because my hands are too fucking small to carry them bitches. That's what I got out of it. Help my little fucking hand. Damn. Y'all just, Obama's just better than Trump. I dare any MAGA motherfucker on here, just admit the truth. He looks better than him. He smells better than him. He thinks better than him. He fucking walks better than him. His health is better than his. You know what I'm saying? Women think he looks better. I know he got more pussy, for sure. He definitely got more women. You can look at Donald Trump in them Epstein videos and see that he's an awkward, fucking Weird Al Yankovic, big ass hair. Women don't like that. Women don't like weird ass men. They don't. Women like to feel comfortable. Women like to be with a confident man. A motherfucker who, you know what I'm saying, when he move, yeah, the whole fucking room move. When he grab his nuts, women get moist. Donald Trump looked like he got two fucking left feet with a big ass suit, a long ass fucking tie, weirdo, whole bunch of hair, a fucking mullet. How the fuck you got $1 billion and a fucking mullet? Somebody save me from this. You mean to tell me that your father left you $1 million and only haircut you could come up with was a fucking mullet? Is this shit real? Oh, I'm mad. Man, listen, if I was Trump, I would have ended it a long time ago. If I was that fucking lame in real life, I would have been quit. How the fuck you got money and can't get no women? You need a fucking PDF file to get you girls? Now I understand why y'all so fucking weak. Now I understand why your thinking pattern is so fucked up and why y'all want to go deal. I see why y'all don't mind Trump dealing with underage children because that's what you would do too. And that's what you do. That's what y'all do. That's not going to hurt my feelings. When I know that the most intelligent inventions, the most intelligent creations was created by motherfuckers that look like me, I don't give a fuck about you making up funnies about grammar. I can talk like a redneck and fuck all y'all up in here. Just stay on the line so my motherfucking money keep running up. I don't give a fuck how mad you are. Now, Delta B, and this ain't your first time on here, you weak ass motherfucker. But I tell you what, it certainly is entertaining to see a bunch of pink-faced, weak, inferior, recessive motherfuckers trying to tell me what it is about this thing we call life. and this thing that we call politics, and this thing that we call lying out your motherfucking ass, and this thing that we call wearing that little dumbass red hat, and the thing that we call, oh, your dick still ain't bigger than mine. Oh, the shit that we call, man, when the fuck are you gonna grow up? Because there's a lot of white people out here who know what the matter of fact. Let me tap y'all in to some people who gonna tell y'all what the fuck it is. Spitfire shine, what it do? Let me tap into some people that's gonna tell y'all what it is. While y'all sitting around still being stupid.
Went insane and attacked John Ossoff yesterday, which spectacularly backfired with an incredible response from Ossoff. Before I show you that, here's what Trump had to say to start their little brawl. So happy for highly respected Congressman Mike Collins. He will win his Senate race in Georgia against a pathetic, failed Democrat Senator Oss Jerkoff, who is a joke in D.C. Nobody even knows who he is. So Ossoff was then asked about Trump's comments in person, and here's what he had to say.
Hey, listen, y'all. If you want to hear MAGA get roasted every fucking day, subscribe to this motherfucking channel. And if you love it, let me know. I'll mod your ass up. For real. This is what I do. I give MAGA their fucking medicine every day because they all sick. They all know they sick. And the reason they know they sick is because their asses is in here listening to a motherfucker like me tell them how fucking whack they are. You can have your own opinion and be MAGA all you want, but right here, your ass gonna get persecuted for. So stay here, stay tuned, take your little red finger and hit the fucking subscribe button. You can even send some money, because I know y'all asses is entertained. Whatever.
Donald Trump went on Truth Social and he called you a failed Democrat and then has a new nickname for you. He called you Oss Jerkoff. Your response to that?
He is a disgraced president, humiliated on the world stage by his failed war, raking in billions for himself and his family while he makes you pay more for gas, for groceries, and for healthcare. Mm-hmm. And if you want to help me defeat his Trump puppet opponent.
There you go lying again. The top motherfucking host, the top fucking commenter ain't the host. They don't even tell. Conspiracy, whatever the fuck, conspiracy RDA, Delta B, the motherfucker running his mouth is number 3. Shut the fuck up. Hold on. Yeah, bitch, stop lying. We don't need to lie.
It's electjohn.com.
You can't lie over here. This is a motherfucking truth-telling podcast, so my live stream is going to reveal a bunch of lying motherfuckers. Matter of fact, maggots, all y'all do is lie. All y'all motherfuckers do is lie. And I'm going to constantly expose you.
You are going to do everything you can to help Ossoff win in November. Give us a follow. We are on the same team. Trump went insane and
Hey there, buds. I had a couple questions I wanted to ask you. Let's play a little game. Here's the first question. Ready? You don't have to answer out loud because I can't hear you. Just think about it in your own mind. Who shot Abraham Lincoln? Got it? Okay, is it in there? All right. Who shot JFK? Who shot Bobby Kennedy?
A white man.
Who shot Martin Luther King?
A white man.
If you're a real history buff, who shot John Lennon?
A white
Who
man.
shot Malcolm X?
A white
Who
man.
shot Reagan?
A white man.
Just think of those answers. Some of you that really pay close attention to these events knew the answers to all of them. Some of you maybe only knew
I know your motherfucking tears rolling. Cry on, motherfucker.
the answers to Reagan or to Kennedy and Lincoln. Now here's the last question. Who shot Donald Trump?
A white man.
I'll bet you that almost none of you know that answer. Even the ones who knew the answers to all the other questions, I bet you don't know the guy's name, the child's name. Think that's a coincidence?
A white man shot Charlie Kirk too.
That we have a sitting president?
But you know what they're going to say? It was a Democrat. It was a white man Democrat. Well, one thing y'all all got in common, motherfucker. It ain't your political party.
That was shot, and nobody knows the guy's name. Nobody talks about him. You don't know shit about him. You don't know his name or anything about him. Google him. Try and find a little bit of information about him. Not a lot out there. Probably a coincidence, right?
Hey, y'all. Hey, Delta B, don't get it. Don't act like you're confused that we're crying. We laughing at your ass, boy. We don't give a fuck. I don't listen. You see what black people did? We checked the fuck out. Who out there in the streets protesting? White people. Who out there with their motherfucking picket sign? White people. Who getting shot in their motherfucking head in the streets? Fucking with ICE? White people. Who getting their ass? Who flipping on motherfucking MAGA and going to no kings? White people. So guess what? Hey Doug, that shit not gonna work here, buddy. You just told me your fucking income. You live in a trailer with a motherfucking 125-gallon propane tank heating your whole motherfucking house, the hot water, the dryer if you got one. You just let us know that your ass is broke. Yeah, black people love President Trump in certain ways. Let's not act like everybody loves Trump, bitch. We got plenty of proof that maggots don't even love Trump no more. Like I say, it's about 100 of y'all bitches left. It's about 100 of y'all left. Watch this. I'm going to show y'all. MAGA has fallen.
Let me tell you something. The cartilage of an elderly pedophile doesn't grow back. It sure as shit doesn't grow back in a week.
And I say it. Y'all ready? And I say it. Y'all ready?
An elderly pedophile? Sorry, I keep calling him a pedophile. I'm just trying to reiterate he's in the Epstein files. That's why he's covering him up. He's a fucking pedophile. Just think about it. He wasn't shot. He wasn't shot, and wait for it, he didn't win. He didn't win. If you think that an insurrectionist, adjudicated rapist with 34 felonies who overturned Roe versus Wade and had people storm the Capitol and had his CEO go to jail twice that year, facing all this shit, 91 total felonies, 31 of them under the United States Espionage Act. You think that guy won all 7 swing states, the first Republican in decades to win all 7 swing states? If you think that, you're fucking dumb. Sorry, whether you're on the right or on the left, if you believe that, you're a dumb motherfucker. He didn't win. He wasn't shot. And here's the one that everybody needs to hear. His support isn't real. It's not real.
Inferior, motherfucker.
It seems big because you've seen a few rednecks in your town with flags in their yards and stickers on their trucks and the gold sneakers and the Bibles and the watches and the meme coins and the fucking chicken tenders and whatever else he's put his name on this week. The phones, the watches, the boots, all the...
Hey, can I ask y'all a motherfucking question on here, all you intelligent red hats? Did y'all get y'all Trump phones? Which maggot on here is willing to admit that he paid and sent some money out for that fucking phone and didn't ever get it? Which one of y'all motherfuckers is willing to do that? Which one of y'all? Which one of y'all? That's not a real thing. You know why? Because my dick is bigger than yours. Motherfucker, you're the one people are tired of, bitch. It's you, motherfucker. We gave the world so many fucking gifts. What did you give the world? What did you give the world? But a fucking puppy smell. Man, get the fuck out of here. Ain't nothing you gave the world that's good, bitch.
Embarrassing fucking home shopping network dog shit that this fucking pedophile piece of shit con man puts his name on. I get it. There's a lot of shit out there. There's a lot of dumb rednecks with his face on their trailer. I get
Oh, he's been convicted, motherfucker. What the fuck are you talking about? Trump paid off a fucking woman for sexual assault. You can't, that's not a dismissal. Wasn't nothing dismissed, motherfucker. He paid the money. He paid in civil money. He paid money to not get fucking prosecuted. You're out of your fucking mind, Dougie. And guess what? Just because you lie to your motherfucking self. We already know.
that's who supports him, and that's all. That's it. All the normal people.
Shut the fuck up, man. Don't nobody want to hear none of your fucking MAGA crybaby fucking talking points. Who gives a fuck? Fuck you and fuck them. We don't give a fuck. Fuck all of y'all, matter of fact. Fuck every last one of you bitches. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
That are remotely normal.
Don't
Yeah,
give
maybe they
no
voted
fucks.
for him because they just always vote R, and they're too fucking simple-minded to understand politics, and they're too fucking cowardly to go against their paw or their meemaw or whatever it is. People who don't really give a shit. They think they're going to get a tax cut, or maybe they're scared of gay people.
Hey, Doug, I know this hurt your fucking, Doug, I know this hurt your motherfucking feelings. And Delta B, this is how, let me let y'all know that this is my fucking second channel. I see you bitches on other channels crying and whining and crying and crying and Trump's a bitch.
Or whatever, but they're not militantly behind the guy. His support is only the masked white trash rednecks who are disappearing people with a tan. That's his support.
Bitch, this my life. You want to get the fuck out? Because I'll put you out. It seems like you like it here.
Them and the squatted pickup trucks with the guys driving them and jerking off the pictures of Trump. That's the support, and that's all. That's all it is. That's it. What you see is the support. And what you don't see is everybody that either doesn't support him or at least isn't willing to do anything about it. That's what I want you to know. That's the important part that I want every American to know. There are way more of us than there are of them. They make up less than a third, probably closer to a quarter now of the U.S. population. And of that 1/4 of the U.S. population, maybe 10 or 20.
Yeah, the Red Kingdom from bloody pussies. This page is turning red because my pussy is bleeding.
% of them are willing to actually do
We know,
something.
we know, Dougie.
It's a very small number. That's what I want you to know. I want you to not be fearful. Fuck these people. Because I want a peaceful solution to this. I really do. That's why I'm doing everything I'm doing in hopes of a peaceful solution to this. But I also understand fascism. Studied it, read about it, watched documentaries, know a little history. Fascists don't like to relinquish power. That's why they're already trying to gerrymander the midterms. That's why he's already sending military to every city. They don't plan to relinquish power. And if and when the time comes for us to them. And there are a lot of pro-democracy veterans and there are a lot of pro-democracy veterans in this country who are real patriots, who are willing to do whatever it takes to defend democracy and our Constitution. I know because they tell me. And there are a lot of tough people who aren't veterans who are willing to become veterans. So I want everyone who's a real American to take heart in the fact, and it is a fact, his support is not real. They moved the inauguration indoors because nobody was coming. That's why. Not because it was cold. Guess what? It happens in January every year. It's always cold, you dumb motherfucker. They didn't move it indoors because it was cold. They moved it indoors because the numbers were going to be embarrassing. His 100-day celebration, 1,000 people were inside celebrating him and 4,000 were outside protesting him. His military parade, Fox literally had to add applause tracks to the videos of him. You can find it. You can find it online, maybe not on Google, but on like a real browser. You can find the real video of crickets and the Fox video where they added applause because they're a fucking video where they added applause because they're a fucking disinformation network. They're state media. They're Russian bullshit.
This is the best free video.
You want everybody to look alike, be alike, sound alike?
No, I want them to assimilate. I want them to learn the history of our country. If they want the Americans, they got to know who George Washington was. They got to know the fucking battles that this country fought. They got to know about the Vietnam War, the Korean War, the fucking World War II. They got to know the fucking blood and shit that our country has gone through to get it to where we are today. And then maybe they'll stop burning our fucking flags and flying fucking Palestinian flags and fucking getting down on the fucking Jews. Holy shit.
Okay, cool. So talk about, they got to know the history of our country, right?
They should, yeah.
Yeah, well, you bring up George Washington.
Right.
What is the history of our country?
The history of our country was that we conquered another people. We came in from the fucking east.
We genocided another people.
What? No, we conquered them.
How?
Because they're still alive.
We lied to them. We said, hey,
we didn't genocide them. We fucking conquered them. But
okay,
that's the way things were back
I was
then.
raised where a man's word meant something, and if you make a treaty with the people and break that treaty and then shove them off their land, that's not conquering, that's genocide.
Dude, I lived in South Dakota. The fucking United States Cavalry fucking murdered the fucking people at Pine Ridge like you can't fucking believe. I mean, the atrocities that our government has created and will still correct and still create.
That's
to
not
the
conquering.
Fucking very second.
That's not
our
conquering.
I'm not saying our country's good. I'm just saying that.
I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm saying that if we're talking about history, let's talk about history properly, right?
Yeah.
We didn't conquer shit. We genocided people after
Well, we did the best we
them.
could at genocide. We did the best we could.
We did the best we could at genociding them. I agree with that.
All right.
So then after genociding the indigenous people of this land and then claiming it for our own, which is basically us coming here and taking it over and not assimilating and all the things.
No, there wasn't anything to assimilate to. Why would you assimilate to somebody that doesn't even have a written language or know what the fucking wheel is? Why would you do that? Why would you sit there and lower the bar? That's what we're doing today. We're lowering the bar again.
No,
that's what's happening today.
Indigenous tribes had written languages. They had
Morons
religions.
are coming into our country.
Indigenous tribes had morals, ethics. Indigenous tribes set a great example for what a society should look like.
I don't believe
they
that.
took care of each other. Well, it's true. You should study our history, like we talked about.
Well, I mean,
you brought up the Korean War.
I understand that. I understand that Native American history was based on a lot of shit, but they were also murderous motherfuckers. I mean, you got to look at the dark side of them too. I mean, you ever heard of the Mohawks or the fucking Iroquois or the fucking?
If they were so dangerous and murderous, how come then they just allowed people to genocide them?
Because we had more technology than they did, dude.
No, because we lied and
no, we had technology. We
mowed
mowed them over with the train. We mowed them over with rifles.
We used the lie that they were murderous and
we mowed them over with alcohol.
Yeah, so
we learned that they couldn't fucking drink, so we fucking fed them booze.
Right,
gave them
that makes us
and
trashy, right?
No, it makes us
fucking... That's some white trash shit.
That is the way things were done back there, dude.
Okay, so that's the history. So you acknowledge that's the history.
That's the history.
Okay, then what happened? America was founded, and then what happened next in America? After we genocided the indigenous people.
And then the industrialists came in.
The industrialists?
The industrialists and the inventors and the fucking innovators like Edison and the fucking...
Thomas Edison stole his idea from
Tesla,
from an enslaved person, actually.
I don't really...
What I'm saying is
what you asked me a question.
Yeah, sure, okay, I'll wait.
All right, so what happened after that was the industrialization of America and the absolute rampant expansion to the West under the Monroe Doctrine, and that's the end of that.
Okay,
if you got no way.
No, let's briefly.
People die.
I agree. I agree with half of what you said. So, the industrialists came in, which was under enslaved labor, right? So, slavery was the next portion of America. After we genocided the indigenous people that live here.
Do you believe that? Do you believe that the Civil War was fought over slavery?
I do. Yep.
Okay, I don't. I believe it was an economic thing. I believe
make your argument.
No. The argument is that I believe that the Southern people wanted to be not bullied by the fucking Northern people.
Over what?
And over everything.
Mainly what?
Well, mainly that they weren't allowed to fucking independently fucking trade with fucking London.
Wrong. So
no, not wrong.
Hang on. I'll make my argument now. Let me make my argument. Let me make my argument now.
Do you think that 60,000 freaking white guys from fucking Tennessee are going to sit there and die on the grounds of battlefield for freaking black people? Are you really think that happened?
For black people? No, they weren't dying for black people. They were dying for slavery.
No, they weren't dying for fucking slavery. They did not kill themselves over slavery. They died because they were told.
Let me answer your question. So South Carolina was the first state to secede from the Union, okay?
Correct.
All right. South Carolina created a document called the Articles of Causes of Succession, which was where they wrote out, this is why we are seceding from the Union.
Right, so essentially Declaration of Independence.
Yep, and in their Articles of Causes of Succession, you may look this up at any time, they state in there that their reason for succession is over the institution of slavery, because when they negotiated the Constitution,
the Missouri freaking Compromise,
they wanted an article in the Constitution that said if enslaved people were to flee from slaveholding states,
you could grab them.
That non-slaveholding states would return them,
right.
And that northern non-slaveholding states were breaking that article and thereby were in breach of the contract.
I'm not saying that slavery wasn't an element.
No, it was the element.
I don't believe that.
We don't have to believe it. I'm listening. How can you argue with the words of the people that wrote out, this is why we're... Texas did one too, by the way. Texas did one, the Articles of Causes of Succession, and in theirs they literally said, hang on, they said, because if you take away free labor, economic impact's big. So it says, in Texas, Articles of Succession, it says that the African race is inferior to the white race. It says that.
3/5 of a person.
Yeah, that was in the Constitution.
Right.
So let's go back to, what brought us here was the history of America. First we genocided people, then we enslaved people.
Right.
And the enslavement happened until when? Until the enslaved people fought for their own freedom and got it.
1964.
What happened in 1964?
The fucking Civil Rights Act.
The Civil Rights Act, right. And how did that...
You asked me a question, and I gave you a fucking answer that's totally accurate, correct?
Yeah, for the first time in forever.
I know.
So, what I'm saying is, in 1964, there was a Civil Rights Act, right? Post 1964, what happened?
Post 1964, fucking the Vietnam War went up, and they sat there and took black people and put them into a fucking meat grinder and killed them.
And then denied them the GI Bill, right?
I don't know about that. I can't.
Yep.
I cannot verify nor deny. I do
they
not
did.
know.
They did.
They sent. Fair enough.
They sent black people that were,
God, I wish I had a drink right now.
highly impoverished to Vietnam to die and then not receive the benefits.
I
of
don't
fighting that
know.
war.
I don't know. I can't.
But my whole point is this. When you talk about know the history of this country, I do know the history of this country. And the history of this country is...
I'm pretty close. You got to admit, I gave you a good argument.
I can't admit that. So, but
of course you can't.
Because it wasn't a good argument. But I think you're not listening to your own argument. The history of this country is that we take a group of people that we've decided is inferior to us, and we demand that they be subservient to us, that they assimilate to us. Assimilate has always meant white supremacy. And if you don't look like me, dress like me, yes, it does. That's the history that you and I just discussed of this country. And now we're doing it again via ICE. You want everybody look alike, be alike, sound alike?
No, I want them to assimilate. I want them to learn the history of our country. If they want to fucking be Americans, they got to know who George Washington was. They got to know the fucking battles that this country fought. They got to.
You know, I've texted from Stephen Miller where he's like, "We need white boy November." Oh yeah.
Elon suggested to you in a text.
You want to see the text?
I do.
Wait, do we have my phone?
Was the baby in vitro or old-fashioned?
No, it was not in vitro.
So you all had sex to conceive the baby?
It was not in vitro. It was not in vitro.
All right, joining me today in studio on iHip News is Ashley St. Clair. She is a former right-wing media influencer. And I do not like to define women by their exes, but an important detail here is she has a child with Elon Musk. So I apologize for that because you are your own person on your own. But because he's had the keys to the government, it's an important detail. And because you were in close proximity to him. And so you've been making the rounds now.
I keep saying, I'm like, people need to wait to reach out because they're going to think I'm a plant. So I'm like, I swear they're just all reaching out at the same time.
So you've been making the rounds on the left-wing media ecosystem. Walk me through what changed in you from, I know you were young when you fell prey to the right-wing kind of cult stuff, but what clicked and what changed where you were like, this is bullshit?
Well, let me be clear, too, about, I am doing left-wing media, but no right-wing media has reached out because they know that I'm telling the truth about MAGA. Not a single one. They will talk about me. They will do all this, but they haven't reached out. And I've been on their shows before. There wasn't any one moment. It was very cumulative that I saw things. I got involved very young. I was 18 years old on my college campus, and I get involved with Turning Point.
I do not care about the rights of blacks. I do not care about the rights of blacks. I do not care about the rights of Mexicans. I do not care about your rights at all. I don't care what happens to you at all. You do not belong here. I don't care if you were born here and you think the Constitution applies to you. I don't care. I care about the rights and lives of white people, and that's it. And I keep hearing about what American values include that.
I got a comment saying, hey, why are you so obsessed with black people? Why are white people so obsessed with black people? And I've seen this comment before, but anyways, no one is fucking obsessed with you. They're trying to move away from you. You hate on Latinos, you hate on Arabs, you hate on Indians, you hate on Asians, as we see recently. And, man, nobody's obsessed with you.
You said, I'm not obsessed with black people. We white people are not obsessed with black people. It's not that you're obsessed with black people. It's you're obsessed with speaking negative about black people. You're obsessed with convincing the world that black people are bad. Not only are you obsessed with doing this, but a very large percentage of white content creators are obsessed with this agenda. For example,
what's the difference between Batman and a black man?
Batman can go out in night without Robin.
Why do you never see a black person with Down syndrome?
God does not punish anyone twice.
Is this ugly nigga bitch playing Helen of Troy? Imagine the outrage if we turned this into this. Yet it would still be more historically accurate than people who lived for thousands of years looking like this.
Can a black man be in a relationship with a white woman?
Honestly, no, never. We should normalize putting salvage titles on girls that have been with black guys. You don't mix snow with
Girls, what makes you happy in life?
Whenever life gets tough, I just remind myself things could be worse. I could have been born black.
Every time I criticize black culture or call out the black community, instead of giving actual arguments, they just say that I'm jealous of black people. But according to you guys, y'all are oppressed both systematically and socially. So if that's truly the case, what the is there to be jealous about?
We're talking about what the actual beauty standard is. It's black women, but if we're talking about what society wants to portray, it's going to be white women.
Oh. No, Shaquila, it's because you guys are obnoxious, ugly, and fat as shit, and raise half the killers in this country. That's why.
Black people in America need to understand that when the boomers die out, nobody's going to care about slavery anymore. Nobody currently under the age of 40 cares about slavery or Jim Crow or anything in the middle. And we're nauseously exhausted about having to pretend like the reason black people can't be trusted in the self-checkout line is because of slavery. And the reason we're terrified of walking past a group of young black men at night is somehow because of Jim Crow. So what we're going to do is we're going to install fascist socialism on our side of town after we resegregate everybody. If you guys want to go do the communist leftist thing, that's fine, but you have to go do it over there. But what we're going to advise you guys to do is just copy and paste our system of fascist socialism into y'all's race, culture, and civilization.
Why can't these niggas just stay where they're at instead of contaminating everything with their attention-seeking behavior and debauchery? Stay at home.
Why are blacks so fucking dangerous? And why exactly are we expected to want to live with them? It seems kind of counterproductive to want to live with the most dangerous demographic, isn't it? Alright, so I just want to give a little bit of my experience with the black community and why I am the way that I am. I wasn't born this way, however, I will die this way. So as of right now, I own a house in a black neighborhood, which I lived in for two years. I don't live there anymore. I rent it out, and my equity is just getting built for me. I also lived in East New York, which is in Brooklyn, for about 4 years. It's a black neighborhood. I lived in Kensington, Philadelphia for like 3 months, and I lived in Camden, New Jersey for about 4 or 5 months, something like that. So I've got experience in about 4 black neighborhoods, give or take, a couple, whatever. The point is, during the 2 years at my house that I still own, like I said, my girlfriend's car got shot. That's one. My neighbor stole a bike from my backyard, and we had to go out there armed and tell him, basically, if you come across this fence again, I'm not gonna finish this sentence here on TikTok. My house was driven into, the gas line was driven into by a drunk driver. There were gunshots all the time, fireworks all the time, drugs selling outside. Same thing in Camden, same thing in Kensington, except in those 2 places, they have an open air drug market because the cops have just stopped giving a fuck. And then out in Brooklyn, they don't have an open air drug market, but it's very easy to sell drugs and very easy to find drugs. And they sell them on the corners, basically, even though they don't advertise it out in the open like they do in Philly and in Camden. I was not raised in a black neighborhood. I was born and raised in South Jersey in a white neighborhood, and I'm not used to this kind of crap. I had to get used to this kind of crap because I fumbled, my life when I was 19, and I, was doing my own thing, and I ended up in black neighborhoods. And then when I bought my house, I wasn't fucking around with drugs or anything like that. I was actually about 10 years sober at that point. I'm not sober. I still smoke weed.
Who do you blame? Because you fumbled your life and you messed up when you were younger. Whose fault is it? Let me guess. Black people? It's black people's fault that you mess up your life? And why'd you move into black neighborhoods? Why couldn't you just stay at white neighborhoods? Oh, because I couldn't afford it. White neighborhoods doesn't equate to rich. There's plenty of white neighborhoods that are poor as hell, like white trailer trash neighborhoods. Sundown towns. Why didn't you move into a sundown town? I wonder. Why did it have to be a black neighborhood that you moved into? If you had moved into a white trailer trash community or a sundown town, would you have experienced all that negativity in your life from your white neighbors that lived in extreme poverty?
But the point is, I wasn't homeless or anything like that. I was just poor, and I can only I can only afford a house that was $150,000. It's about to start pouring here. I got to get home. Anyway, I can only afford a house that was about $150,000, so I moved to a black neighborhood when I was more optimistic, and I used to say, oh, it's a black neighborhood, but it's not a bad neighborhood. Well, I found out very quickly that they all are bad neighborhoods, and I will never again live in a black neighborhood as long as I can help it. And I just can't take their culture anymore. It's about to start pouring, and there's not really much else to say, so I hope you guys...
Why don't you try living in a white trailer trash community or a sundown town, and then let us know what you think about white culture surrounded by pedos.
Systemic racism, redlining, oppression. How the fuck are y'all gonna blame anybody else but yourself for not getting a job? Y'all literally had a whole ass black president who had 2 fucking terms. If you can get a black president, I can almost guarantee that you can get a fucking job at Dollar General.
Even though I can't stand when niggas complain about slavery, I actually really don't mind Juneteenth as a federal holiday because it's the one day in the year where black people actually commemorate white people for getting rid of slavery instead of fucking complaining about it.
And after watching all these videos, if your question is, damn, Ricardo, why do you think white people feel like this? And the truth is that white people are inherently white supremacists. And I can elaborate. However, I'm going to let one of their own do it for me.
For white people, it's really hard not to be racist, and I don't mean because it's like the devil on our shoulder that's just trying to tempt us. No, I mean because we were raised in a white supremacist society, and most of us don't even know what the f that means. Most of us white people think that white supremacy is just the Nazis, and if you're not acting like the Nazis, then you can't be a white supremacist. And we don't even know that it's like a cultural thing, because why would we care to know that? A lot of white people look at the most outwardly racist people and just go, oh, well, I'm not like that, so I'm not racist. I mean, shit, that was me with my family who was openly racist. And I was like, I'm not like that. I have black friends and Mexican friends and Vietnamese friends. I'm not racist, but I did have racist ideologies because I never learned what racism is or what it looks like or how it looks or feels in our culture. I mean, shit, I have been trying to educate myself on racism for over a decade, and it was only recently that I found out what white supremacy culture as a culture even is.
You see, most of us non-white people identify the white racist like this.
I do not care about the rights of blacks. I do not care about the rights of Mexicans. I do not care about your rights at all. I don't care what happens to you at all. You do not belong here. I don't care if you were born here and you think the Constitution applies to you. I don't care. I care about the rights and lives of white people, and that's it. And, you know, I keep hearing about, well, the American values includes everyone. Well, then there's a problem with American values, okay? I don't want blacks to own weapons in the United States. Blacks should not have access to modern technology. They are mentally and physically incapable of handling it.
Most of us identify that type of white as the problem. And it is a problem, obviously. But, keyword, obviously. All of these videos that I showed you of all these white content creators are white people that think like that guy. And as much of a problem that they are, the reality is that they're not that much of a threat, because at least we know.
They want us to wake up. They're not us. They're not the originals, the aboriginals, the true black Indian.
You have the black natives that were here before. Then General Gadsden and Andrew Jackson came, and then they were at the Negro Fort, and they came and they bombed the fort and killed the women and children and enslaved the people there because it was a black settlement here in Apalachicola up the street, and they were like, we can't have freed black slaves here, so we need to enslave these ones. If they had the freedmen settlement here, then all the black people would be trying to come here. So they took them, killed them, and enslaved them.
So the black people who were here were never enslaved. They were never slaves.
The ones that were here before they got here, no. There were black people already in the United States. You know, they redid the categorization because they want you to think the natives that you're seeing now are the original natives when they're not.
I am not a rich guy. I work hard for my money. I'm in my work truck right now, and it is Sunday. And I just dropped my glasses. My $3 reading glasses. I make good money. I've paid off my home. I've almost paid off my vacation home. I have money in the bank. But in my salary at the end of a year, I want to just let people know who freak out about welfare, who freak out about people getting welfare. First and foremost, there is no welfare for undocumented immigrants. Not a single fucking dollar. Are we clear on that? Well, I read this thing that said everybody who goes to the emergency room has to be taken care of. Yes. Yes, they cannot be turned away because they do not have insurance. That doesn't mean they're not going to have to pay. For years, my wife worked in that industry, getting people to pay their hospital bills. See, Reagan enacted a law that says people who didn't have insurance could not be turned away from an emergency room, whether they had a cold or a broken arm or a gunshot wound. This was just a normal Christian value, actually, at the time. It used to be a Christian value. It no longer is. But it was a Christian value. So he enacted this law, got this law enacted.
Bro, the level just started and we're already getting overrun. I gotta take these guys out and build this crossbow tower as fast as possible.
If you have an issue with American politics, why don't you just go back to Turkey?
Because that's not how America works, you dumbass. Really? America, you try to make the country better by participating in it. You don't go, oh, duh, why don't you leave the country if you don't like one thing? Hey, did you like everything under Biden? Then why don't you get the f*** out of the country?
No, but like, I'm an American too. Like, I'm white.
Oh, I'm also...
Dude, you know that me and Cenk Uygur, we don't exactly see eye to eye. We do not. But Cenk Uygur actually did some fucking shit, dude. He did. This is actually a pretty funny clip, guys. Somebody tried to ambush Cenk Uygur in the airport, and then Cenk, like, popped off on this guy a little bit. Dude, it's funny. We got this TPUSA guy, Riley Naimi. Okay, this fucking Jesus, look at this guy. What in the fucking squarehead are we doing here? Okay, he's owner of Nimi Canvassing, right? Blexit and TPUSA. So he is somebody who is soaking money out of these right-wingers. Now, he decided to try and, you know, pounce on Cenk Uygur when he's getting off a plane. And I guess Cenk Uygur called Lindsey Graham evil. Now, this is about the warmongering. He was evil. I mean, dude, of course. He's like, kill everybody in the Middle East, and there would be no problem. Lindsey Graham would have no problem with that. Now, it's funny that the TPUSA dweebs, of course, they have a problem with that because they want to bomb everybody who's, Muslim or Muslim adjacent or not MAGA. But yeah, this is pretty funny of Cenk actually shitting on this kid. All right, here we go.
Cenk, why did you say that Lindsey Graham is evil when, like, literally your own nephew, Hassan Piker, literally said that America deserved 9/11, Cenk?
All right, now, I just want to pause here. We're going to listen to the whole thing uninterrupted. But what in the brain dead stupid question is that? Why do you call Lindsey Graham evil because your cousin said something 6 years ago? Like, yo, dude, those two things couldn't be less related. Like, what? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. But anyway, this question being ridiculous because this interview is a jackhole TPUSA moron. Forget that. I just needed to point out that his whole premise of asking the question is stupid. But of course, we have to remember we're dealing with this guy, right? We're dealing with fucking Jughead over here, dude. Dude, look at this guy, bro. Like, what in the Chuck Woolery haircut is that? Oh my God, dude. Jesus. All right, whatever. Here we go.
Cenk, why did you say that Lindsey Graham is evil when, like, literally your own nephew, Hassan Piker, literally said that America deserved 9/11, Cenk? Do you think that's evil to say that America deserved 9/11?
Okay, so those two things are completely unrelated.
Come on.
You were waiting for me at the airport. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, I was on the plane with you, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Okay, so then you waited for me to come
yeah,
out. I appreciate
I mean, like
that
5
too.
minutes, of course.
And Lindsey Graham advocated for the deaths of millions of people. He's one of the worst people who's ever lived. So,
and if you have an issue with American politics, why don't you just go back to Turkey?
Because that's not how America works, you dumbass.
Dude, right there. Dude, you dumbass. Dude, what look at this guy's hair. Can we deconstruct, like, the worst fucking hair? Like, what, is this guy wearing a Lego hairpiece or what? Where did he get his fucking hair? Look at that. Dude, this is like a pompadour that fell out of Lindsey Graham's ass. But did you hear what he said? He said, oh, if you don't like American politicians or whatever, why don't you go back to Turkey? Like, what a fucking dink. These guys. Like, yo, dude, we don't have to go back to anywhere because we disagree with you warmongering. Dude, it is the butthead experience. Where's Beavis? Where's Beavis, you fucking shithead? Right? Dude, he is like Smelvis. All right? What a jackhole.
Yeah. If you have an issue with American politics, why don't you just go back to Turkey?
Because that's not how America works, you dumbass. Really? America, you try to make the country better by participating in it. You don't go, oh, duh, why don't you leave the country if you don't like one thing? Hey, did you like everything under Biden? Then why don't you get the fuck out of the country?
No, but like, I'm an American too. Like, I'm white.
Oh, I'm also...
Dude, you see that? Oh, dude. I mean, I don't like Cenk. You know I don't like Cenk, but like, bro, Cenk actually nailed this one. Cenk is getting a few points here. That was pretty good. Oh, you unhappy about Biden? Why don't you get the fuck out of here? Dude, he did do well here. Dude, Cenk got the memo, right? Oh, shit, dude.
You try to make the country better by participating in it. You don't go, oh, duh, why don't you leave the country if you don't like one thing? Hey, did you like everything under Biden? Then why don't you get the fuck out of the country?
No, but like, I'm an American too. Like, I'm white.
Oh, right? I'm also an American.
Yeah, but like,
unlike you though, I'm not racist American.
But you
and
communists,
an idiot American.
You communists never assimilated.
Like an asshole like
you
this.
communists never assimilated into America. And that's the problem.
I'm a capitalist. I own a business.
Oh, come on, you're a communist.
You're
a communist.
Stupid, it's hilarious.
Dude, look at this guy. This guy thinks he is so smart. Dude, all right. Look at this. Guys, you know that I have been on Cenk's ass all the time, but I'm round of applauding here. Let's get a round of applause for Cenk, because Cenk actually, he did really well here. He fucking leveled. He leveled this guy. Oh my God. Oh, you like everything under Biden? Get the fuck out of here. Dude, so good. Yeah, I am an American. I'm not a racist American. I'm not an idiot American. Dude, these guys are so dumb. All right, Cenk, you know,
The other answer is more interpersonal. And I think it has more to do with the work that you do in leaving MAGA, the relational work that you do. And that is that the most successful dissidents in all these places are people who heard a voice in their head, a voice of objection, much like you did, as we talked about in your story, that said, something is wrong here. There's something about this community that I'm part of. There's something about this country or this political movement or this regime that is no longer working for me. And what they did, as you did, I don't mean to speak for you, but just to paraphrase, is eventually they followed that voice. Not everybody was leaving a movement in the way that you did, although we do profile a person in the book. We profile a couple of people in the book who have left authoritarian movements, one person in Venezuela and other places in the world. But people followed that voice to wherever it took them. They generally did it by finding a community of others who shared their values. They were very serious about keeping themselves safe. They didn't take unnecessary risks for the sake of taking risks. And then, most critically, and we can talk more about this because it's so connected to your work, once they had established a sort of political home of others who shared their views, they employed all kinds of mechanisms to grow their movement. The other answer is more interpersonal, and I think it has more to do. The other answer is more interpersonal, and I think it has more to do with the work that you do in leaving MAGA, the relational work that you do. And that is that the most successful dissidents in all these places are people who heard a voice in their head, a voice of objection, much like you did, as we talked about in your story, that said, something is wrong here. There's something about this community that I'm part of. There's something about this country or this political movement or this regime that is no longer working for me. And what they did, as you did, I don't mean to speak for you, but just to paraphrase, is eventually they followed that voice. Not everybody was leaving a movement in the way that you did, although we do profile a person in the book. We profile a couple of people in the book who have left authoritarian movements, one person in Venezuela and other places in the world. But people followed that voice to wherever it took them. They generally did it by finding a community of others who shared their values. They were very serious about keeping themselves safe. They didn't take unnecessary risks for the sake of taking risks. And then, most critically, and we can talk more about this because it's so connected to your work, once they had established a sort of political home of others who shared their views, they employed all kinds of mechanisms to grow their movement. The other answer, but even if you're not concerned with that, if your goal is to figure out what works to defeat authoritarianism, and you go out into the world as we did and talk to dissidents on 5 continents.
I genuinely thought this guy was messing with me. I was in,
and it was so in my face that I could not deny it. One thing led to another, and George Floyd's murder happened, and I got fed on my Twitter feed a vast comparison of how white people be treated by the cops, how black people be treated by the cops. And it was so in my face that I could not deny it. I would see the vast difference. And it broke all these narratives about, oh, the whole All Lives Matter movement and the Blue Lives Matter. It just broke it all down.
Today is a stellar day to declare one's independence from MAGA. Hey everybody, it's Rich here at Leaving MAGA at leavingmaga.org. Hope all of you are having a happy and safe 4th. Wanted to bring this Independence Day message with a promise from Leaving MAGA. And that promise is that myself and all of our leaders will continue to make the case that we, the people, as Americans, agree more than we disagree, and that we are more alike than unalike. And that we will, our pledge to all of you and to the country is that we will continue to work to perfect this union. And I think as we reflect on 250 years of America's liberal democracy and our constitutional republic, we can't lose sight of the fact that progress ebbs and flows. It does not move in a linear line. But I do think about the words of the Declaration of Independence, and I am reminded of the fact that in my conversations that I have day in and day out, that we as Americans agree more than we disagree. And I think that's a reminder, and it's something that I will continue to think about, especially today. Make sure that you are subscribed to our newsletter. Make sure you're following us at our socials at leavingmaga.org. Again, wishing all of you a very happy and safe and fulfilling Independence Day today. Today is a stellar day to declare.
The Prophet ﷺ said, protect your...
It's a lot like MAGA, good versus evil battles. And almost with MAGA, I remember that having that militant way of thinking that we either crush our political opponents or they crush us first. This is a kind of mindset that I lived with for more than half a decade.
Every study that's ever been done on this shows that that's the case. That if you take a break, there was a big study that happened a few years ago where people who are diehard Fox viewers didn't watch it for a month. All of them, 100%. Believed and stopped believing in election denialism. Their positions about the Republican Party changed. All sorts of things. They were less likely to be susceptible to conspiracies. That was only 30 days. And it's not that they became converts, but it's that you create space for other stories, facts to get in there, for conversations and new connections to be built. Every study that's ever been done on this shows that that's the case. That if you take a break, there was a big study that happened a few years ago where people who are diehard Fox viewers didn't watch it for a month. All of them, 100%. Believed and stopped believing in election denialism. Their positions about the Republican Party changed. All sorts of things. They were less likely to be susceptible to conspiracies. That was only 30 days. And it's not that they became converts, but it's that you create space for other stories, facts to get in there, for conversations and new connections to be built. Every study that's ever been done on this shows that that's the case. That if you take a break, there was a big study that happened a few years ago where people who are diehard Fox viewers didn't watch it for a month. All of them, 100%. stopped believing in election denialism. Their positions about the Republican Party changed. All sorts.
Can you ask the person in front of me if they'll pay for my order that I give them?
If you dehumanize someone who's in MAGA, you are engaging in the same type of behavior that the president does. Hey everybody, it's Rich here at Leaving MAGA at leavingmaga.org. I saw yesterday that the president called New York Times reporter and author Maggie Haberman a maggot, which is the same word and pejorative that I see people sometimes who are not in MAGA call those who are in MAGA by referring to them as maggots. And I want to make a plea to all of you.
MAGA was easy to continue that ideology, even when you weren't believing in like God anymore. I was born into a family, and my mother is a evangelical, and I was homeschooled. I had a brief attempt at it again in the 6th grade, wasn't for me. Went back into homeschooling up until I got my GED. My mom's intensity with her stuff created a little rebellion sometimes. I kind of want to rebel against her sometimes, so I want opposing views. But for the most part, I mean, I did fall, I did believe, or what she had raised me to believe. So I grew up thinking the rapture could happen any day. Any moment now, we could all just all that was going to happen. Armageddon. There was a constant battle of good versus evil going on. You could see how easy that would lead into already having that framework of a constant good versus evil your whole life. MAGA was easy to continue that ideology. MAGA was easy to continue that ideology, even when you weren't believing in like God anymore. I was born into a family, and my mother is a evangelical, and I was homeschooled. I had a brief attempt at it again in the 6th grade, wasn't for me. Went back into homeschooling up until I got my GED. My mom's intensity with her stuff created a little rebellion sometimes. I kind of want to rebel against her sometimes, so I want opposing views. But for the most part, I mean, I did fall, I did believe, or what she had raised me to believe. So I grew up thinking the rapture could happen any day. Any moment now, we could all just all that was going to happen. Armageddon.
Have you heard about pop-on sighting? We need 50 homeowners in your area to trial this radically simple new sighting service. And get this, at no cost to try. This service is part of a program they're running to connect homeowners with professional pop-on sighting technicians in your area. Pop-on sighting is the latest innovation in home exteriors. It is beautiful and so easy to install. And get this, they don't even have to tear off your old exterior. They can just pop these panels on in a day right over the top. It's so fast and easy, go ahead and sign up. It won't cost you anything. There's no risk, no obligation. This site will tell you if there's still eligibility in your area. This beautiful sighting could not only improve your house value, but also decrease your monthly electrical and heating bills significantly. So click the link below this video, connect, and calculate the cost of new sighting. It only takes 30 seconds to see if your house is eligible. Have you heard about pop-on sighting? We need 50 homeowners in your area to trial this radically simple new sighting service. And get this, at no cost to try. This service is part of a program they're running to...
I was about to say, I can remember that feeling that kind of rage all the time as well. Obviously, now that we've been out for a long time, the reason why I was so deep to that rage is I just felt angry in my own life, my own personal reasons. And that consuming that kind of content full of rage and anger all the time just felt natural for me because I was that all the time. I was about to say, I can remember that feeling that kind of rage all the time as well. Obviously, now that we've been out for a long time, the reason why I was so deep to that rage is I just felt angry in my own life, my own personal reasons. And that consuming that kind of content full of rage and anger all the time just felt natural for me because I was that all the time. I was about to say, I can remember that feeling that kind of rage all the time as well. Obviously, now that we've been out for a long time, the reason why I was so deep to that rage is I just felt angry in my own life, my own personal reasons. And that consuming that kind of content full of rage and anger all the time just felt natural for me because I was that all the time. I was about to say, I can remember that feeling that kind of rage all the time as well. Obviously, now that we've been out for a long time.
Discipline in the MAGA media content, and it works. And I was saying to someone the other day that People don't watch, for example, Fox News to be educated. They watch Fox and to be informed. They watch Fox because the audience is addicted to rage and fear. And what Fox does and what other MAGA media do is they reinforce and affirm that fear and that rage. I can tell you, when I was in MAGA, I was addicted myself to the rage. I was always angry at somebody or something or some group. And it was after leaving MAGA that I came to understand that I had been addicted to this rage. Discipline in
I would never have the appreciation for the history and just culture and how alive and beautiful Detroit is if I never got rid of like those limiting worldviews. Currently in Texas, I am a Democratic Party precinct chair. I helped organize a whole bunch of protests since Trump got reelected. I've knocked on over 1,000 doors by myself to help push progressive candidates. I'm really excited for where I'm headed. I'm headed to Detroit, Michigan. I'm super excited to get to experience all of their culture and their museums. And that really goes back to leaving MAGA. I would never have the appreciation for the history and just culture and how alive and beautiful Detroit is if I never got rid of like those limiting worldviews. And so I'm excited to go get to experience all of that and find new people to get active with.
For those of you who are seeing it out there, if you want to read more of Victoria's story, be sure to visit our website at leavingmaga.org.
I would never have the appreciation for the history and just culture and how alive and beautiful Detroit is if I never got rid of like those limiting worldviews. Currently in Texas, I am a Democratic Party precinct chair. I helped organize a whole bunch of protests since Trump got reelected. I've knocked on over 1,000 doors by myself to help push progressive candidates. I'm really excited for where I'm headed. I'm headed to Detroit, Michigan. I'm super excited to get to experience all of their culture and their museums. And that really goes back to leaving MAGA. I would never have the appreciation for the history and just culture and how alive and beautiful Detroit is if I never got rid of like those limiting worldviews. And so I'm excited to go get to experience all of that and find.
Leaving MAGA also means leaving behind MAGA media. Hey everybody, Rich here at Leaving MAGA, leavingmaga.org. You know, something that I realized after leaving MAGA was that there has been a coordinated multi-decade effort by the right wing to vilify, demonize, and dehumanize Democrats, liberals, and progressives. And this propaganda and agitprop have been very effective, coordinated, disciplined, and consistent. And even though MAGA was exciting and enthralling for me, it was all of that until it wasn't. And I came to understand better after leaving MAGA that I had been in these perpetual states of desperation and fear and panic and rage and paranoia. And I realized that I was addicted to fear and rage, and that the media that I consumed reinforced and affirmed that outrage and that fear. It's why I say all the time, for example, Fox News has mastered this. No one watches Fox News or MAGA media to be educated and informed. They consume MAGA media and Fox News because it reinforces and affirms people's rage and fear. So if you're out there and you're in MAGA and you're having doubts, you're questioning if the media that you're consuming is accurate, I want you to know that you're not alone and you have a community with us here at Leaving MAGA. And make sure you subscribe to our newsletter, following us at our socials, reading our testimonials, getting information on our support groups and my memoir, all of which you can find at Leaving MAGA.
See those mushrooms being fed a lot of stuff that led to, you've heard of Pizzagate, right? Okay, I do remember being fed a lot of information. There was a lot of, we heard about Epstein and all the stuff prior to Donald Trump even announcing he was running. We heard about all that stuff. It was fed to us through various sources, a lot of conspiratorial sources. Alex Jones, I believe, was one of them.
Are you aware of this organization, Leaving MAGA, that has
billboards all over the country. Just
I
curious
have
about
heard
that.
a little bit about this, and I think that's exactly the kind of thing we're talking about. Look, by definition, this only works if some people who were part of this decide that they want someday that they want nothing to do with it, and we have to welcome that doubt that they have and speak to it. Again, someday we need people who are on board with this to be as horrified by the corruption and the cruelty as the rest of us. They can still be from a different party. It's not about party. It's about right and wrong. And we have to hold that mirror up to ourselves, right? When maybe not everything in our house is in order. We have to be honest about that. But yes, I've heard a little bit about that Leaving MAGA effort. And I think it's an example of what it means to extend a hand of welcome, or at least an offer, to those who are not already traveling with us.
So there's just a lot of animosity in general just about modern dating that had made men of my generation very just angry, apathetic, unempathetic towards certain topics. And so I remember that being a big contributing factor to allowing excuses for you-know-who's misogyny. So there's just a lot of animosity in general just about modern dating that had made men of my generation very just angry, apathetic, unempathetic towards certain topics. And so I remember that being a big contributing factor to allow